Hey everyone, guess what? I'm cooking today. Well, and my husband Charlie, of course, is helping out. Let's see, let me get him a little bit. Well, anyways, let me get him. So, of course, he's chopping all the onions. And he's gonna chop, maybe we should put that in a bowl. So he's chopping onions. We're gonna chop a bunch of tomatoes up from our garden. I'm actually making chili. So I'm gonna brown some hamburger meat, just like that. And I just made some beans. These are, just dry beans. That's the way I do it. So I buy dry beans and I cook those up. So they're soft enough. So dry beans, and then cooking up hamburger meat. We're going to throw some chopped onions in there. And, thanks babe. And he's going to chop up a bunch of tomatoes from our garden. And we're going to throw them all in here. And with a bunch of seasonings and see how it works out. And then I'm going to make cornbread. Yep, I'm making cornbread. For me, you gotta have cornbread with chili. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Anyways, so I'm excited. I haven't had chili for a while. I'll let you know how it turns out. Okay, and I'll show you when it's all done, because I'm sure it's gonna look good and be good and all that kind of stuff. Okay, see you in a bit. So I just dumped in onions. Well, I cooked the hamburger meat with the onions, and I dumped it in the beans, and then I dumped in a bunch of chopped up tomatoes from our garden. And we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put a bunch of seasoning in it and cook it for a little bit, and it'll be about done. We'll see. Well, this is the chili, and it's basically done. I'm just getting ready to put cornbread in the oven. So this is pretty much done. I think it's going to be good. Okay. I'm just getting all my stuff ready to make, I use good old Elmer's or Alber's cornmeal, and gonna make my cornbread. So in the oven my cornbread goes for about 35 minutes. Let's see. And this is what I use. I use the recipe on just the yellow cornmeal. The recipe back here, it's the sweet corn muffins. I use that recipe, but then I just do it as cornbread and put it in an 8x8 dish, and for 35 minutes, and that's how I make my cornbread. So that's gonna be good. So the chili's already done. I should have started my cornbread earlier, but I didn't. So that'll just take a little while, and then it'll be done. And I like to top we put our chili in a bowl, and I top it with onions. Chopped onions. We sprinkle a little bit in the bowl, and I like to put cheese on top of mine. So cheese and onions on the top for garnishment, and with your cornbread, and there you go. It's a wonderful meal. And it's really about done. I'll show you the cornbread when it's all done. Okay. Oh. Hey, I also wanted to tell you that for the seasoning and the chili, I actually used one of these packs. I like to use those seasoning packs because they're so easy. They've already got all the right seasoning in it. So I put a couple of these in there, and it was the Tex-Mex kind, so it'll be pretty spicy, which I like hot and spicy. So anyways, I did put a couple of those in for the seasoning, so we'll see how it turns out. And we added like a tiny bit more salt. I don't want to put too much salt in it, but just a little bit. Okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, I just took the cornbread out of the oven and it looks really nice. Alright, we're gonna fix our plates. Now look at this. This is some nice cornbread, a big bowl of chili. Now I like to get some of these onions and put on top with some cheese, and voila. This is my yummy chili and cornbread with cheese and onions on top. Now that's what I call a yummy chili and cornbread dinner. Okay. Yum yum and bon appetit. La la. Bye.